Hello and welcome back to another excellent weekly tip video where today we're going to be talking about detoxification. More specifically, we're going to be talking about retracing and a healing crisis and the two trains of thought that you can utilize when you experience these symptoms. Now, as you probably know, when you're inside a space like the EESystem and your cells begin to re-energize, the first thing they typically want to do is to clean house and to detoxify the body. Now, as this happens, your body can actually experience a phenomenon known as retracing or a healing crisis, where you experience symptoms that you used to experience, whether it's certain ailments in the bodies or certain feelings you used to have, they can rehash and reappear, sometimes more serious than before, as your body is healing that part of the body. And so it can kind of get worse before it gets better. And when this happens, it can be very reactive to what you may do. You may think, oh, what's wrong? There's a bad thing going on. There's a bad symptom that I'm experiencing. What's going on? It's important to note to not panic when this happens, but to also have a plan that when you are experiencing these symptoms, that you'll be able to move forward and do what is best for your body. So there's two trains of thought that we love to offer you when you do face something like a detox reaction. And the first train of thought actually comes from the inventor of the EESystem herself. It's Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. And the train of thought is this, is that when you experience a detox phenomenon such as retracing or a healing crisis, it's to power on and continue doing what you were doing in the first place. So an example of this was actually a member who came and saw Dr. Sandra Michaels back when she had a center in the USA. And this particular young girl actually had severe seizures that she was experiencing. And the first session that she had, thereafter, she had the worst seizures of her life. And you can imagine, the mother was like, what's happening to my daughter? This is really intense. And she actually rang Dr. Michaels and she said, fantastic, that's really excellent. It means the body is doing what it's supposed to do. Bring her back, double down on the sessions. And the mum was perplexed. She was like, what do you mean? My daughter's kind of going through this, what seems to be a really serious thing. But to her credit, she did actually double down. They continued having sessions, and a month later, that young girl actually went from having severe episodes many times a day to actually having minor seizures, if any at all. So a really incredible transformation there. But at that moment where she was experiencing a bit of a healing crisis, I suppose the train of thought that came forward there was to double down and to keep doing what you were doing. So perhaps in that situation, if you experienced a healing crisis yourself and you were having EESessions, you were doing the detox protocols like a detox bath, you were well hydrated, you were eating really well, perhaps you're taking other things as well, this train of thought says to continue pushing forward. Now the second train of thought is the kind of the opposite approach. It's actually stepping back when you're experiencing a detox reaction, just stepping back and letting the body assimilate and kind of catch up to where it is. So in that case, perhaps you experience a detox phenomenon, and rather than kind of continuing to hammer it and to continue pushing it forward, you might have the intuition and the awareness that you actually think, for my body, it may actually be better to step back. It may actually be better to give it some time just to rest. I'm going to do the basics, detox bath, drink plenty of high quality water, eat a lot of really great food and get some excellent sleep. But that's kind of it. And I'm just going to give my body time to assimilate, to catch up, and then afterwards just to see where we go from there. Now, it's important to note that both trains of thought are not more or less correct than one another. It's actually up to you, and it's your body, and you know yourself better than anybody else. I'm certainly somebody who's more stubborn and rigid, so the option number A of just kind of hammering forward and going super hard in that way, that's certainly my characteristic, and I find that good for my body, but you might not find that's for you. So I guess the point of today's video is to have a plan and have a think about which train of thought might be best for you, so that when you do experience, if you do experience, I should say, a retracing phenomenon or a healing crisis, that in that moment you'll be prepared and you'll know what to do. Now, obviously, we're not giving medical advice in this situation. If you are experiencing symptoms that you're not sure what's going on, the best thing to do is to see a trusted health professional that you would normally see to talk through your options from there. But hopefully these two trains of thoughts do give you some more clarity around what to expect and what to do when you are faced with a healing crisis. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you at our center very soon. Thank you.